At Stellar Fishing Tackle, since we mass produce weights for ourselves and we also distribute to bait and tackle stores throughout the coast here in Texas, we use a 2-pot system for melting lead. We keep it's about a 10-pound lead burner from Lee, and then your 3-pound Palmer hand pour. I like using the 2-pot system because the people that like to use the spout where it shoots the lead out of the bottom in your molds, that's fine. It holds a lot of lead, but once you get down to a certain level and you have to resupply your lead, then you have to wait. You have to wait while it melts down so that you can continue. Otherwise, it's going to clog up the hole, or the lead's not going to be hot enough to get your weights done in a proper manner. In using the 2-pot system, I can skim the bigger pot with lead to take out the impurities, remove them the best I can so that it looks good in here. Then I can take either my big ladle or a smaller ladle, scooping lead into the Palmer 3-pound hand pot, which this has a coil below. It's hot. It's going to keep the lead just as hot here as it is here. I'll do the same thing. I'll skim it for a second time just to make sure to remove any more impurities that are there. Put it in my little reserve. Here's where I dump all of my reserve. You can tell there's dirt, there's a little bit of tar, some paint, and there's still plenty of lead in there. We'll show you later how to remove that. Then at some point, even if you do get caught up and you have lead that's melting and your little tray is empty and you've made a lot of weights like we did this morning, we made these 120 half-ounce pears. I can start clipping the pears, the tips off, and putting them into the 3-pound burner, letting those melt. And while I'm doing that, because that still has to be done at some point, you still have to prep your lead and your weights to get them ready for either your tackle store, personal use, or into the bait and tackle stores. So that's very important on why we use the 2-pot system for lead melting. So that way you're not tied up with the spout and waiting for more lead to be ready to go. As you can see, we have a whole lot of molds that make a whole lot of weights. So all the way across the bottom here. And today we're going to be working with our pears, which here you've got the 3/8, 5/8 ounce pears, half-ounce pears, 3/4 ounce pears, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, and then that last mold is a 3, 4, and 5 pears. And they all take gold swivels ranging from either a number 6 swivel or a number 7 swivel. For this video, since we're working with the pears, we're going to use a 2-ounce pear, or what they call bass weights. They use number 7 gold swivels, or you can use black swivels depending on whatever you have in stock. This mold happens to do 5 at a time. There's different molds for different increments, and in this case this one makes 5. What you have to do is when you first put the gold swivels in there, you have to make sure that they're flush, that they're not sticking out, because when you close this, it has to be perfectly, you shouldn't be able to see any light whatsoever, because if there's light showing through one of these holes, that means that one of the tips of the swivel isn't flush in its setting, and when you pour the lead, it's going to go directly down onto your table. So here, once we've closed it, you turn around, you pour your lead, one at a time. This makes 5 2-ounce pears. You open it up, sometimes they're stuck on top, they're on the bottom, but that's your 5 2-ounce pears. Simply take a pair of pliers, remove them, take them off, let them cool down, and load the next batch of lead so that you can continue to make 2-ounce pears as you go. In our previous video on melting lead, we showed you how to make these small cigar-shaped lead bundles, so that way, I call them splatters, and you can drop those directly into your Lee melting pot, and as you can see, that melted very fast. It melts a lot faster than your ingots because it's nice and thin and it melts fast. And now you're ready to continue making your pear-shaped molds. And while you're making the molds with the small pot, you can keep bringing in the lead from the big pot, keep dumping more lead into the big pot, and it makes for mass production. It goes so much smoother using this process. This particular mold, it's for 1 ounce and 1.5 ounce pears or bass weights, whatever y'all want to call them. And there's 4 on one side, 4 on the other. This is also considered a production mold because you can make quantity of these instead of making them one at a time. And here you got 4 swivels going in each direction. And again, once you get your 8 swivels placed in there, when you close it, make sure it's flush. You can usually look right here, and if you see these little creases are closed, that means they are flush. You don't have a swivel that's out of place. And you just come in, you pour on the one side, set your pot down. Give it just a few minutes, because if you turn it over too quick, sometimes there's lead on there that dumps out on the table. Go to your back side. Pour the other 4. And this lead actually cools down pretty fast to where you can almost open it immediately. Some of your weights fall out. You can take your pliers, remove the rest, and there you go. You've got 4 1 ounce pears, and you also have 4 1.5 ounce pears for what took about a minute to do. And of course, as long as you keep your lead flowing, you can continue to mass produce eggs, pears, bank weights, whatever you'd like for the day. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and click the button below for the subscribe button, and there's also a couple of links in the bottom for you to go to allinonefishing.com. It's a complete fishing directory that we're working on for the entire country. And also, if you'd like to buy and sell your own fishing tackle, I know there's a ton of videos here on YouTube on people that like to make their own fishing weights, fishing jigs, fishing rods, custom rods. Anything that you'd like to sell, it's a free platform that we're working on, that we're building, because we want to make one big web page that's just going to serve the mom and pop fishing stores and people that like to make their individual rigs, paint them a certain way, custom fishing rods, you name it. Make sure to visit that site and register. You get 5 free ads. Try it out, see how you like it, what you think about, and we'll go from there. So hopefully we'll see you in a couple of days with the next video. And like I said, subscribe to the button below, and we'll have more videos to come. Thank you.